we're going to be going to this very interesting thing that I saw from what's his name? Shoot, I forget. Lance from the Serfs and AJW. AJW is peak cringe and kind of dumb. Uh, we'll get into that. So, I feel like I've talked about AJW a couple of times, and by a couple of times, I mean once before in the past. Bro, fuck AJW. Dude, all my homies do hate AJW. He's my man's crazy. He's like alt-right adjacent. I have absolutely no clue what this guy's political prescriptions are, but whatever they are, I don't care because he facilitates the right. He's like friends with no bullshit. The dude who's like a literal avowed white nationalist. What is AJW? A cringe lord. You weren't around for the days. Yeah, AJW is 100% the what Lauren Chen roaming millennial, what Bearing used to be. He's what Sargon of Akkad used to be. That's what he used to be. Yeah. Garbage. Okay, so and he had a debate with our good friend Lance from the Serfs, where he made a couple of really dumb claims. But the one I want to highlight so much to you right here, right now, is his claim that his garbage dog shit claim. It's a Republican talking point. You know it, you love it. It's pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Okay, anybody in this country can succeed. Anybody, no matter all succeed works. If you want to be Jeff Bezos, if you want to be Mark Zuckerberg, if you want to be Bill Gates, if you want to be any of these people, if you want to be the Walton family, if you want to be any of these people, okay, if you want to be the dude who owns the freaking Miami Heat. All it takes is hard work and dedication. That's a lie. That's very much a lie. With social mobility being at its lowest in 100 years, and with productivity being higher than it ever was, you're going to tell me that all it takes is hard work and dedication to make it to the top? Well, let's let AJW tell you himself. All right. This is sped up a little bit. I'm going to actually slow it down a tiny bit because not everyone who's watching this has 12 billion IQ like me. So you may not be able to listen at 150,000 times speed. So I'm going to turn it down to 1.25 just for you because I love you. And here we are.
So that first part, the okay, means that you accept that it actually is directly correlated to poverty, and that's the main.
I mean, there's a correlation between crime and poverty, yeah, but it's
actually the main correlation. So it's the biggest determining factor for crime, and is poverty.
No. Crime causes the poverty, though. That's the problem. Nobody wants to invest in a community that has such a gigantic murder rate. Like, it correlates with that. Like Brooklyn, the NYPD drove down the crime in the borough of Brooklyn, and now Brooklyn's so ridiculously nice. I can't afford to live there. It's certain parts, not all.
Sure. So again, that's the cart before the horse. It's not disputed by any different version of academia, especially as far as I can see, as broad as I can check out. In terms of the causality of what causes crime, it's poverty. There's just no two ways about that.
What causes poverty, though?
But we can get into that, especially when it comes to Black Americans in the United States, why they are systemically poorer.
It's three things.
Sure.
People having children before they're married, not graduating high school, and not having a job. Do you think?
Okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna cut him off right there because that's all we need to hear. All right. So if you were keeping up with the really stupid things that AJW had to say, mind you, someone who says he has a background in criminal justice, he is stuck in the eternal dilemma of, is it poverty that causes crime, or is it crime that causes poverty? Like, I don't know if he thinks that like people, if he takes it by like what he said, by definition, people would have to start causing crime for like fun or because they're like stupid or something. And he said earlier in this debate, he doesn't believe that people like innately are more, have a greater predisposition to crime. So he doesn't believe in like the warrior gene stuff, allegedly, as he said. But then he says, crime causes poverty. So that would mean that people are either causing crime as a meme, is just like really funny to them, and then the communities get bad, or they are like genetically predisposed to it, because then that would explain why some groups have more crime than others. Okay, The obvious answer is that poverty causes crime. Why would people cause crime if they're not poor? I mean, some people commit crime. We obviously know of like the rich kid who's like grows up in a super privileged household, and then they're like, I want to be bad, and then they join a gang or something. That obviously happens. But the vast majority of people, why they commit crime is because that they're poor. You grow up in bad households and you get bad values because the parents aren't home enough to teach you. People who are poor spend more money on essential needs than people who have a lot more money. This is very true. Yeah, you have less time to raise your kids. Your kids grow up with worse. All right, even grow up in a single mother household, and then you cause crime. There's a reason why rich communities don't cause crime. It's because they're rich. Poor communities cause crime because they're poor. Lots of crimes, most crimes even, are crimes to get more money. Why do gangs shoot each other? Why? Because that's what most of the gun violence is. When we're looking at the murder rates, that's what most of the gun violence is. I think like 50% plus maybe is gang-related violence. Why do gangs commit crime? Well, it's because to protect their territory. Why are they protecting their territory? So they can sell drugs. Why are they selling drugs? Because they're poor. Why are they poor? Lots of reasons. Systemic racism, redlining, disenfranchisement in their community, lots of things. The overseas movement of their jobs. Detroit used to be the epicenter of manufacturing in the country. Now it's terrible. You know, you can't have shit in Detroit. It's true. Poverty causes crime. But we can look at this, all right, because AJW is quoting a very specific thing, and I want to talk about it. He's quoting a very specific, very stupid stat from the Brookings Institute. All right, and this came out in 2007, and we can take a look at this. And this is all we need to know. This is what he was quoting when he was talking about you need three things. Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you'll be rich every single time. Okay, and these three things are what was it? Don't have a kid before you're 21. Don't have a kid before you're 21, complete high school, and have a full-time job. These are the three things you need. And AJW says, if you do these three things, if you do these three very simple things, you'll be rich. You'll be at least middle class every single time. You won't be poor. You'll never be poor, I promise you. Oh, they're just dumb and stupid, and they just don't want to do it, okay? We can take a look at the stats that they brought up and how AJW cannot read statistics. So let's take a look at one, right? So here's poor, all right? And here are the three categories, okay? Here is all three, one or two, and none, all right? When it comes to poor, the people who've done none, 76% in the none category are poor. Lower middle, 17%. Let's go to upper middle. The highest portion of the upper middle, wow, it's looking pretty good for AJW right now. 22%, because all of this is read in percentiles, see? All this is read in percentiles. 22.5% did all three. Look at that. And 76% of poor people did none. Right? Wrong. That's not how you read this, okay? Each column tells you how many people were in each section. All right? And we're going to pull out my handy dandy calculator, okay? Because we're going to need it to figure out why AJW is so stupid in this particular instance. All right? So we're going to look poor. All persons, for all people who are poor in this study, there's 11%. 11% of people who are poor, right? People who did all three, 2%. And what's that 2% out of? The 2% is out of the total here, which is 154,000 people. So 2% out of 154,000 poor people did all three. But let's look over here with the 76% out of the none. People who had a kid before they were 21, do not have a full-time job, and did not complete college. How many people are in that category? Well, let's see. 3,375. Now, I don't know. Listen, I'm not the best at math, but I'm quite sure that 3,375 is much smaller than 154,000. All right? Let's do some quick math to figure something out, okay? 3,370. So, what? And we're gonna find the how many people this actually was times, what is it, 0.76, right? 0.76. This is how you do it. 2,542 people. 2,542 people out of the 3,300 people did not do all three. So keep that in your mind. Keep that in your mind. 2,500. All right. Let's do a little bit of math for all three. All three. Let's take a look. So 154,203 people times, what is that? 0.2? Times 0.2. Ooh. Times 0.2. What do we, oh, this is not, wait, I screwed it up. It'd be 0.02. Yep, 0.02. 3,084 people, all right? And I just proved to you there, okay? So I just proved to you there I'm not good at math. 0.02. We did it right. 3,084 people. So even in AJW's Star Killer study, there were more people who were poor who did all three, who didn't have kids before they were 21, finished high school, and hold down a full-time job. All three. More people were poor that did all three than who were poor and did none. And those people were just as poor as the people who had a kid before they were 21, did not finish high school, and aren't holding down a full-time job. Listen, okay? Poverty in the United States is very complicated. But we can take one thing for sure. Hard work and dedication does not guarantee you a spot among the middle class. And it very much does not guarantee you a spot among the upper class as well. It doesn't do it, okay? It's a very big problem. Social mobility is incredibly low in this country. It's higher, I think, honestly, it's higher in what is it? It's higher in Canada. The American dream is 100% dying. What's up, bud? Welcome back. More people did all three than people who did none. And that's why poverty is such a big issue. And that's why AJW lost this debate. Thank you for showing us why.